G'day, I'm Wild Willy and welcome to another edition of Wild Willy's Wild Outdoors. Haven't been around for a while, recording too much video. I've kind of changed my tune a little bit. I've been focusing a lot more on emergency preparedness and stuff you can do around the house in case there's power outages, ice storms, earthquakes, tornadoes, stuff like that. How to be prepared. Urban survival for your vehicle too, if you're stuck in the snow somewhere, like a few people were out by London last year. So I've been off doing courses and learning about stuff like that, so I haven't been out filming too much. Anyway, so I thought I'd get out today, see some deer, but the rain's coming down pretty good, so I figured I'd just set up a little camp by the creek here and enjoy my hot cup of tea. One of the things here I do different now is I used to carry my other hobo stove where you could just feed it with fuel packs or twigs or whatever. You could keep a natural fire in there. I chose this time to try something a little different. Inside this big paint can is a 1-quart paint can, and all I did, you can find it on the internet all over. It's a very simple make. You take the 1-quart paint can, make sure it's empty and make sure it's never been used before, and all you do is take a roll of toilet paper, take out the cardboard insert, cram the toilet paper into the 1-quart paint can, dump in a bottle of rubbing alcohol till it gets totally saturated, and then put the lid on and you're good to go. It makes a good stove. It emits very little fumes, and a lot of people use them for car heaters in the wintertime. In case you get stuck, you can use them in your car. I always put the little 1-quart can inside a bigger paint can. One, as you can see, I can cook on it this way, boil my water, it can sit better, and number two, it's just the small 1-quart can get really hot. So it's not, I wouldn't use it in my vehicle without a bigger can here to keep this cool. Even the bigger can will get a little bit hot, but that's okay. So anyways, hopefully we'll see some good stuff today, so wait and see. Alright, well, I don't think we're getting too much deer action or any other animal action today, so I guess I came out in the rain just sitting here drinking my tea, enjoying this lazy rainy day afternoon. So as I was saying there a minute ago about urban survival, yeah, there's lots you can see on the internet, there's lots you can learn to do around your house and whatnot. I took a big interest in this because I believe it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. When are we going to have a next ice storm where the power is going to be out for a few days in the wintertime? How do I keep my family warm? How do I keep my family fed? Lake Ontario, or in my area, there is a fault line that runs under Lake Ontario. I mean, you could get an earthquake. It's a possibility. You got the possibility of tornadoes. Ice storm, bad snowstorms. You could have another brownout like we had a few years ago. So I like being prepared for that sort of thing. I want to be able to sit back and live in reasonable comfort if I have no hydro or no running water or no this or no that for a few days. I'll touch a little bit about foods. Of course, if your power goes out, especially in the wintertime, it's not too bad. You can throw anything in your freezer, in your fridge, in your car, it'll keep. In the summertime, if it's going down and it's going to stay down for a few hours, well, then you're going to have the option of eating everything that's in your fridge and freezer first. First your fridge, freezer, if you keep it closed, will stay for a little while, a few days. But other than that, there's a lot of things you can have just around the house. Everyone has their 72-hour kit, you know, in case of an emergency. You know, with your flashlights, your blankets, your clothing, your water, and all that other junk. USB, or not a USB, little memory stick you should have in there too. It's you get them, you can scan all your documents on there, your insurance documents, your health cards, every personal bit of paper information you have, your mortgage, whatever, and get that encrypted. You should keep that in your 72-hour kit. But I want to talk a little bit about food. You can pack whatever you want. There's all kinds of stuff on the internet. You can buy those ready-to-eat meals. There's so much you can do to preserve food. You know, you can can your own preserves. You can do this, you can do that. I just keep the basics. The power's going out. I want to have enough food to last, you know, a week for me and 3 horses. And I keep it simple. I want to have stuff that's going to give me, you know, carbohydrates, stuff that's going to give me protein, stuff that's going to give me essential fats, and stuff that's going to give me my sugars I need, and maybe a jar of freeze-dried coffee too, instant coffee. That's always a bonus. But anyways, the main things I keep in my basement and I don't touch, so there is I keep olive oil, because it's got your fats you need, your good fats. I keep a few cans of tuna because there's my protein. I keep some rice for my carbs, and I keep a jar of honey. Even though honey may or may not have an expiry date, as long as it's kept proper, honey will last a long time. Those are the basics I keep for food wise. Oh, and I also keep a couple things of baking soda, but I'm gonna ham a baking soda, but they got to be swapped out every so often. And people don't realize that, like, honey and baking soda have lots of different uses. Baking soda especially, it can disinfect. You can use it to brush your teeth with. You can use it for wounds. There's so many possibilities for baking soda. So those are some of the food things I keep around. There's, I mean, lots you should have. You should have your batteries, your spare batteries, your flashlights, crank radio, rechargeable radio, or some form of communication too. I mean, if the power goes out for a few days, and depending on your cell phone charging abilities, you may or may not have a cell phone. It's nice to have a little two-way radio in there. But there's all kinds of stuff you can learn off the internet. And that's more what I'm focusing in right now. So maybe my videos in the future might be geared a little bit more towards that. I'll still do the outdoor thing and the wildlife filming thing, but I really believe in being prepared, especially when winter's coming up, being prepared for your car. If you're stuck somewhere in a snowstorm, I really believe in having bug out bags, a bag you can sit there and just grab and go if you have to. I really believe in EDC bags, everyday carry bag, stuff you should have on you at all times. Just a small little tiny bag with the basics in there. You know, a couple extra dollars, some band-aids, a mini flashlight, mini knife, a sewing kit, whatever you want to put in your EDC bag is your business. So anyways, that's the route I'm going now, so hopefully we'll get some good videos for you in the future. But until then, I'm Wild Willy. Hope you enjoyed this little mini edition or informal edition of Wild Willy's Wild Outdoors. And remember, keep your head up in the bush. You'll never know what you're going to see.